Welcome back to G-Ball Vision, everyone. Thank you for stopping in. Today, I have an exciting unboxing to dig into for you. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. I'd love to have you hit that thumbs up button. It really helps push the video out there so more people have a chance to check it out. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down there in the comments. Love hearing from you and what you are carrying for the day. Thank you to Kizer for sending this in for us to take a look at. Just pulled this thing out of the box, out of the mailer. This is going to be their premium packaging. Inside the envelope here, microfiber cloth and paperwork, stickers, extra hardware. Always great packaging from Kizer. And then we have our Velcro pouch. And let's see what we are talking about. I am stoked to check this one out. It is a knife that I have not checked out yet and have seen very little on, and that was on purpose. This is the Kizer Phoenix, designed by Matt Holly, Mattisfaction, and this is his very own design, his first design, called the Phoenix. You can see his maker's mark there. I purposefully didn't watch or listen to much on this knife because the knives I intend on getting in my hands at some point in time or another, I don't watch anything on it, or I try not to. I want to develop my own opinions and ideas on the knives that I am going to handle. And if I intend on handling it, I don't typically watch or listen to any of that stuff. So I pretty much don't know anything about this knife. I know what it looks like and who designed it, and that's about it. We're looking at S35 VN from Kizer. That is a good mixture right there. You can see we have a black washed trailing point blade. It has a really good looking finish. That wash looks good. We have dual thumb studs and a rear flipper for deployment. We have jimping there on the spine, a little row of jimping. We are looking at titanium bolsters here and carbon fiber inlays. I don't know if there's more than one version. The box says aluminum or orange dark matter. So, or unless that's aluminum orange, I don't know which, but I'm thinking this is orange dark matter. Kind of reminds me of lava flow. I don't know if they're similar or very closely related, but it looks really good nonetheless. We are talking about a milled clip there that is softened on all the edges, and it does come down to a nice little point there. Titanium lightly geared backspacer there. Looks really clean. Looks good. Everything's really softened down. How is the detent on this knife? Very stout. Very strong. Not like overly strong to the point where it's uncomfortable, but it's surprisingly good. Like, I like my detents a little stronger. That way you can really get on the stud or the hole or the flipper, whatever it might be, and you can do that with this thing all day. Nice strong detent. That's exactly what I want to see. Closing action is also good. Typical Kizer action, nice and controlled. They've really dialed that in over the last year or so. They did have that crazy drop shut action, which was cool for a little while, but I've always been a fan of just the clean, controlled drop with like light shakes. That's the buttery good stuff there. Typical milled clip, you'll have a little bit poking out, but that's a nice pad there to grab the knife and pull it out without disturbing the pockets or anything. Good retention on the clip. If it holds good retention on our issuing stitches cloth here, our hank, it's going to have good retention on any pants or shorts pockets. Let's see here. What else? We need to check that edge and see what kind of edge they put on their S35, which we already know is damn good. I don't know if Matt plans on doing another design. This is his first one, and as far as I know, he doesn't have another one. So I don't know if he's planning on continuing doing the designing or if he just wanted to do one design and that was it. I'm interested to find that out. I'm also interested to find out, you know, and I'm sure he's talked about it, what his inspiration is behind the design. Is this something he, like, is this his perfect folding knife? Or is this his unique design that's not like a lot of other things? Or is it both? You know, what was he going for with the design? Because it's definitely unique. And in a lot of cases, it's going to be utilitarian. Is it going to act like a Wharncliffe or a sheep's foot? No, obviously not. You don't have that lower tip, you know, that kind of precision, if you will. If you're getting something like this, you either A, don't need it for that because you have other stuff for that, or you don't do or need any reason to be using that point, you know, very finely. Some, you know, this is not going to be for everyone, but no blade shape is everyone's cup of tea. That sounded dumb as hell, but it's true. You know, not everyone's a fan of a Wharncliffe. I'm a huge fan of them. I'm a huge fan of pretty much all blade shapes. I like them all. I see the use in all of them, you know. Clip points and trailing points are definitely great at certain things and not so great at others, but just like here again, Tantos, Wharncliffes, Sheepsfoots, they really shine in certain aspects, but not in others. So it's a little give and take with all blade shapes. So I think somebody looking for a unique design that is not like, you know, trailing points are probably, yeah, and of course we're going to introduce the whacker to the Phoenix. You didn't think otherwise, did you? Good lock up there, nice and positive. As I flicked it, I felt it almost feel like, I don't know, it's breaking into the lock and the detent and the action, all of it. So the coating is playing a role in that, no question. My hope is there's no coating on the tang or lock face. That can cause issues. We have found that in the past to be the case. Not always the case, but a couple of failures of locks that I've had over the last couple of months, 6 to 12 months, have all been related to coating on one of the two or both. So something to keep in mind if that's a worry in your world. That's something to keep in mind. If it's not a worry, then don't worry about it. If you got your opinion on it, that's great too. I'm proud of you. Any which way, this seems to be nice and strong. Strong enough for what I'm looking for. I just want to make sure it's not going to slip off that lock face. That's the only goal. You know, under some pressure, is it going to make it out and stay a lock, stay locked. You know, that's what we want in our locking knives. Locked. Say it with me. Locked. Locking. Folding knife. Lock. Okay. So, good size. I like this thing quite a bit. Is it my normal flow that I go with? No, it's not. But I do enjoy unique things. I enjoy hawksbills. I enjoy trailing points. I have come to love this damn thing. The Huntsman here, different knives completely, but they're both trailing points. And one thing I've found, these bigger butt ends like this, you're always going to see that with a trailing point. The bigger belly and the upward tip has to go somewhere. So you end up with that bigger butt end. and it just makes it comfortable in a standard grip. So that's one thing I really like, and was hoping this knife had as well as the Huntsman. Very comfortable ergonomics, but with a good edge, you know, it's still a knife. It's still going to do the job. I've put this in some goofy situations where I didn't think it would, you know, do so well, whether it's a detail cut or a precision cut, you know, whatever it might have been, and it do just fine, right? You know, maybe not as good as something with a pinpoint low tip, but still perform just fine. I think this is even going to be even better because it's not as exaggerated any which way. It's a very subtle, you know, upward swing, and it's got a great size to it. It's very comfortable, easy to wield. I don't know. Yeah, they did do some internal milling there on both sides. Very cool. Very, very interesting design from his point of view. Very different from something I would have, you know, first put out, but that just shows you everyone has something different on their mind as far as what they want to do. And for the people, I don't talk about this at all, but where I'm from, most, when I was a kid, even to now, most boys and men in a lot of areas, if you went up to them and asked, hey, do you want to design a knife, your perfect folding knife, or a knife you think would be ultra useful to people or whatever, almost all of them would say, hell yeah. So it's not, whether you're a YouTuber or you're not a YouTuber, I think is irrelevant. That it's just something cool. That would be something cool to do. I'm not going to stand here and say I wouldn't want to design a knife. I'd love to do it. I don't know that I ever will, but it's something that I think would be awesome to do. So that whole idea, I think, is stupid. And if anything, somebody who's been looking at and handling knives for, a long duration knows what to look for, what, things don't work, what things do work. Somebody who handles a lot of knives is the perfect person to design a knife. That's why Devo Knives is so successful. That's why some of these guys who are infatuated with knives start to design them, and they're damn good. There's lots of guys who have went from critiquing designs like what I'm doing here to designing them and being successful. It makes sense. So I don't know where it's not something I ever bring up and don't plan on bringing up much. I don't like to bring stuff like that in here, but that's just kind of my thoughts on it. Anyone is welcome to do anything here in America. That's why it's great, right? You'll have to let me know what you think of the Phoenix here. You ever handled one? You plan on getting one? And let me know if you know any background info on the knife. I'll have to have a chitty chat with Matt and pick his brain on this one a little bit. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I always appreciate that, everyone. If you're new here, we release knife and EDC content every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I'd love to have you here. I'll put up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.